Welcome, Riley. Thanks for being here today.
Hey, can everyone hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Yeah.
Nice. Hey, morning.
We got a little tiny group today. I think we can probably, whenever you're ready, Riley, we can go ahead and get started. We could just chit chat a little bit, whatever works. But I'm glad that you're here. How is your where are you guys right now? I keep forgetting.
I'm in Costa Rica.
That's so cool. Have you gotten to see a lot of beautiful stuff?
To be honest, we've just been working a lot, the doing the upgrade right now, so bit of a
Nice.
slog.
I feel that. Well, at least you can have pretty views outside the window while you're hustling. It makes all the difference sometimes to just have a change of scenery.
Yeah, yeah, it's very cool stuff though. This upgrade's going to be big.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure the group is going to be stoked to hear about it if you feel like we're in a place to chat about it even. That would be awesome. Yeah. I'll go ahead and get us started and then yeah, if we want maybe kind of at the end, I know Riley, I shared that agenda with you earlier. Maybe at the end we could talk a little bit about the upgrade or at the beginning, whatever works for you. But I'm gonna do a little bit of a quick intro for some community updates that I just want to share with the group real quick. So I'll go first. Thanks, guys, for being here. Really happy to have you all, our super core group for our FireStride chats every Thursday. I wanted to let you guys know you might have already seen this in the Discord announcements yesterday, but we created a new Telegram group. It's the new Stride official Telegram group. You heard it here in Discord and Telegram first, but I'm saying it now so that way, if people ask, you can let them know that this is a legitimate message and a legitimate new group. I'm going to share the link right now in our little chat. It's the same link that's shared in the, pardon me, in the announcement that I made yesterday. The reason that we're creating a new Telegram group, a couple reasons. The original group that became, what we ended up moderating and bringing in community members to, take care of and monitor and secure. It was not owned by somebody who works at Stride officially. It was owned by a former mod, and so we thought that it might be just more appropriate, more official to have a Stride member, Stride teammate owning the account. So that's one rationale. And then you guys might have noticed we had some issues with the actual handle. It said instead of saying Stride official, it was Stride official, that is not so official to have official spelled incorrectly. So, and that's okay. But we're moving away from that, and that's why we have this new group. The new group is going to be secured by CosmoBot, so it's a bot from Cosmos Rescue. So, and we will have our moderators monitoring this channel starting now, but officially will be devoted to this channel on Telegram starting next Monday. So I know you guys might all be members of the old group, you might not be members of the old group, but whatever you do, please support us in our effort to make this the link that is shared widely with the community. And yeah, like I said, you can take a screenshot even of the message from me and then Riley verifying it in the old Telegram group, just so people know. I know that there can be some confusion about legitimacy or fake groups sometimes. So that's the real one. That's my main announcement for you guys. And so yeah, that's the main thing from community. There will be some fun community stuff happening later this month, but I don't want to spoil anything. So I'm gonna move on from my community updates and I'm gonna pass the mic over to Riley to share a little bit of some celebrations for the success of ST Atom right now, ST Osmo, what's going to be happening with ST Osmo coming up soon, and of course, the information everybody's really excited about when STDYDX, when STTIA, you'll get your weekly update on that. And then yeah, we can also talk about the upgrade that Riley said that he's hustling on right now. So I'm going to pass you that mic, Riley, and I'll be taking notes.
Great. Thanks for the intro. So a few quick updates on ST Atom. The Cosmos Hub just finished deploying. I think we tweeted about this morning. They just finished deploying the ST Atom POL that Osmosis had requested. it's worth about $10 million right now. I think half of that is liquid staked, half of it is still an atom, and it's deployed onto Osmosis as liquidity. So there's, at this point, a lot of liquidity depth on Osmosis, enough to support a ton of new integrations. So we're focusing on raising the caps on those. No longer really constrained by the liquidity on Osmosis, which is a really nice change. Also means that there are less incentives required for those pools, which is positive for Stride's tokenomics. One other update on ST Atom. On Kujira, you may have noticed that the mint cap for USK was raised from 1 to 1.5 million. This, I think a prop went up for this last week, and there's discussion on the Kujira Discord forum about the pros and cons of doing that. Ultimately, it passed, and I don't think it's reflected on their UI yet, although I'll check it right now during the call. It's possible they updated it. Let's see. No, it's not updated yet, but it is live on chain. So I guess if you refresh that, you might see it. You might see it update today or tomorrow, and you can mint the last remaining 500K of USK. I'm sure we'll have to raise this cap again. Fun fact: I think ST Atom and ST Osmo currently back over 20% of all USK, which is great to see. We've seen on Agoric, I think over 50% is backed by ST tokens, but it's nice to see the Kujira stablecoin trend in the same direction. Cool. So that's it on ST Atom and ST Osmo. A few other updates on integrations. On Jan 8th, just a few days ago, the Interprotocol Agoric stablecoin had the prop to bring ST Osmo on as collateral for IST. So keep an eye out for this. Probably in the next week. There's a few remaining steps required to test the proposal that would make ST Osmo go live on their testnet, and then I think it'll go live on mainnet. And there might be a little co-marketing on Twitter as well. You know, the Interprotocol account, they're very active with their graphics and fun campaigns. Stake and Mint was a really creative, unique one. So maybe they'll do something similar for ST Osmo. Another integration update: the Evmos community passed a gov prop that allocates 500,000 Evmos as POL for the Stride ST Evmos LP on Forge Perp. The Forge is launching a Perp platform, and POL from the Evmos community pool has been deployed to back those perps. Super exciting to see the ascent of perps as destination for liquid staked assets. We saw it with Lavana, which has had a few hiccups recently, but I think is maybe going back online right now, or has in the past few days. But now Forge Perps. Very, very exciting to see where this goes. And it's nice to have them backed by SD tokens to earn yield while you're LPing those perps. One other big integration update: there's a certain stablecoin on the Osmosis blockchain that I think someone in the crowd, or he was in the crowd. Yeah, Robo's in the crowd. Actually, Robo, you might be best suited to talk about this particular stablecoin integration on Osmosis. Yeah, let's pull Robo up. Interested to talk.
Welcome, Robo.
Membrane has been huge over the last week. Hey, Robo.
Hey. Yeah, Membrane, I know we kind of chatted briefly through this last week, but like crazy updates since then. The cap was hit, I think, pretty much immediately within like 48 hours. 33% of Membrane supply was backed by ST Osmo, which is just crazy. The cap was raised to 66%, and I think it's either hit again or like very, very close to being hit again. So yeah, Membrane right now is like almost 66% backed by ST Osmo. They just onboarded TIA and Noble USDC, I think, as collateral. So yeah, as those, assets potentially become a larger portion of TVL, that will raise the cap as well on ST Osmo. like, I don't know, super excited about Membrane. It's just such like a small community driven project right now, but it's taking off in a really huge way, and it looks like Stride is quickly becoming, the largest beneficiary of that, which is it's super cool to see.
Yeah, it's crazy that they've made so much progress without even having a UI.
Yeah, they do have a UI, but it's not super like intuitive and easy to use. Actually, Trix is here in the chat. I know Trix mentioned he's working on an updated UI that should launch in the next month or so, which will be awesome. Trix, I don't know if you want to come up and say hi. You speak about Membrane better than I ever could, for sure.
I invited you up, Trix. No pressure though. Oh, nice. Hey.
I'm not sure how it sounds right now because I just ran to get my headphones.
I can hear you fine.
Okay, let me just change the speaker. Yeah, so I don't know what you just said, if you said anything I was supposed to respond to.
Oh no, I was just, we were talking about Membrane and how exciting it is that, ST Osmo has taken off with such a large portion of the TVL backing CDT.
Oh yeah. That was actually pretty surprising, but not as surprising as it having a higher ratio than ST Atom, only because Osmo. It seems like Osmo is like the leading collateral for Membrane in general. It was before the SC assets were added, but I'm glad to see that the SC assets have some market fit as collateral.
Yeah, super exciting. I know, like Johnny in the past has talked about Membrane as potentially being this really cool way to house a sort of like a portfolio of diversified, liquid staked assets to sort of like, I think a lot of us have a probably diversified portfolio of staked assets, but why not like, bundle them all together in liquid staked form, use those to mint CDT, and then use your CDT in DeFi while you earn staking rewards from your liquid staked assets. I think it's a really powerful, almost like a mutual fund type of integration.
Yeah, we were actually just talking about that in the Discord over the last 2 days. But like, if you use your ST assets to mint CDT, you can deposit that CDT in the stable swap that's currently being incentivized and probably will continue to be incentivized. And since it's a stable swap, you're not taking on any additional price volatility. So as long as your LTV is in a safe range, you're basically just boosting the yield you're getting from your ST asset position.
And I haven't checked in a couple days, but what's the APR on that stable swap pool now?
Right now, I think it's the APR on the UI is divided by 3, which is, I don't think a lot of people know that, but I think the actual APR right now is around 15 for the boost, and then another 8 to 10 from swap fees depending on the day.
Wow, and that's on effectively on stable coins. Crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that is incredible. The other somewhat unique aspect about Membrane that we've been thinking about internally at Stride is the way that apps work. The fact that there effectively is not a limit on the number of ST assets that can be deposited.
Yeah, the caps are different than most of the other stable coins, or just I guess lending markets in general. So other markets tend to have hard caps based on liquidity. So it'll be like $1 million worth of said asset. But for Membrane, it's a percent. it's a percent of the total collateral, percent ratio of the total collateral. So like right now, the two SC assets are at 66% of the total like TVL of membrane, more or less. And the thought process behind this is that for the most part, use of collateral is going to be driven off of market demand. So if we're adding assets that already have decently mature markets, then the users using it, more or less the users using the assets aren't going to use assets that are highly volatile because they'll get liquidated if they're manipulated. Obviously, we wouldn't want to add those assets anyway. So as they're used more in general, like the volume and the TVL on chain will increase, which will make the market more resilient either way. So it's kind of like the chicken and the egg problem. Like SCSs wouldn't really get volume before, or didn't really have as much volume before they were integrated places. So the more they're integrated, the more volume they'll have. So based off that logic, if we use caps based off current liquidity, you're always going to be behind like the current state of the market. The only problem with this is that since they're not hard caps, we do have to be aware of the caps we're setting, because they technically don't have a hard limit. So like for example, yeah, so like if something went wrong, just say if something went wrong, we'd be liable to the dynamic cap instead of like whatever the hard cap for the asset could be. Yeah, so it's just like it's nice to have dynamic caps, but it's the reason why we have like two different levels of caps. And yeah, I feel like I was just repeating myself at that point, but yeah.
Awesome. Also, I just linked the incentivized pool on osmosis in the chat. So, and actually, I can link Membrane's website as well. So if you're interested in getting high APR on stables and minting those stables with ST assets, you can go to Membrane's website, which I will link right now.
And I swear the UI will look better in the future.
I loved the tweet that you guys said where it's just like our UI is really, really bad. I feel like in the Cosmos ecosystem, that almost sounds like a compliment. You know what I mean? Everything we call really bad might be really good, but it's awesome to hear that change will come soon. And thanks so much for giving us a kind of a close-up look at the project too. I feel like that's a really lucky. This is like a lucky group of people to be able to hear that kind of insight, and just the detail around membrane, because it is so new, and I don't think a lot of people have all the context they need to navigate it. So thank you, Trix and Robo, for kind of giving us that today. And yeah, obviously you guys are always welcome on this stage to share. And if there's anything else you guys wanted to add, please feel free and go ahead and do that. Or if anyone has any questions for Trix or Robo, feel free to ask in the chat right now. I see Moon said, can't wait to use CDT on Umi and other places. And Taranjeet says, is this APR competitive? Let's say you can get 10% on this.
So I think I think the APR on USDC is in USDC. I'm not really sure though. I don't use it as much, but I'm pretty sure it's denominated in USDC. So this APR would be in membrane. So it's slightly different. So 15% is a little higher than 10%, but it is in a different token. But when we vote to extend incentives, they would be higher than what they are now. Like when we initially voted them, they were around 30 to 40%. Like the boost itself was around 30 to 40%. So if we extend them, we expect them to be much higher than no list or regular stablecoin lending rates.
Nice. And thanks, Taranjeet, for sharing that context about NOLIS and yeah, just giving us something to compare everything to. Any more questions, you guys, about Membrane right now? Going once, going twice. Feel free to also, add in the chat. We still have some time, so yeah, feel free to share your thoughts in the chat. But maybe we'll keep the ball rolling a little bit. Just a couple more things to chat with the group about. Thank you so much, Trix, for coming on stage. I really appreciate it.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We can.
And yeah, Riley, maybe I'll share real quick, just so you guys know. Next week on Wednesday, time is still to be determined with this, but Stride will be joining OmniFlix's Flix Talk on Wednesday the 17th. This will be a really fun call and it might include some fun alpha. We've been able to connect with OmniFlix in the past specifically when we were launching ST Atom as collateral on IST, and there will probably be some fun support from them this time around as we pursue launching ST Osmo. So stay tuned with that. And yeah, just save the date for Wednesday the 17th, and I'll make sure to make an announcement with the details about when that is. Just wanted to plug that before I forget. But yeah, Riley, would love to hear from you about the upgrade, and if we have time about DYDX and TIA.
Cool. Yeah, so there's an upgrade that's likely going on chain in the next 2 or 3 hours. That's some alpha for everyone. It is a big upgrade. So it has the logic for FTDYDX. It has a change that will automatically claim rewards for stake tokens more quickly. So the compounding will speed up. It has some updates and fixes to unbonding logic that will make sure there are never delays in unbondings in the future, and sorts unbonding so that we always unbond from the biggest validators first. It cleans up a lot of record keeping on the back end, and it also is slightly pro decentralization. It adds a weight cap to any single validator in the Stride val set to make sure that no validator can have more than a certain percentage of weight. It fixes some gov proposal issues that Stride has had in the past where gov proposals weren't showing up on explorers. It allows people to redeem twice and multiple times per epoch. It's a big one. It also adds autopilot version 2, which basically allows you to send one transfer to Stride from another chain. And in that transfer, you can request a redemption or a liquid staking and a forward. So you could take actions like send a single transfer from Cosmos Hub and have that be liquid staked and forwarded onto your Ethnos address by just signing once. Or you could do the same thing, but with redemptions. So you can request a redemption that will then be deposited to an address of your choice. We upgraded our ICS version. We added packet forward middleware, a few other small miscellaneous technical changes that shouldn't impact any user behavior. But overall, it's a very big upgrade, and it should be going up in just a few hours. Yeah, and Stone VC asking about STING. This upgrade fixes the STING issue. We've been in contact with Stone VC. So yeah, it should be going on chain in the next few hours. That is a lot on the upgrade. Maybe a few other upcoming items as well. DYDX and TIA. With TIA, there's a Celestia improvement proposal or process submission that Stride made last week or the week before. It's being reviewed by their devs and the core Celestia team as well. We have a call with them as part of that CIP process at the end of the month. And the discussion there will center around adding entertainment accounts to enable STTO. With DYDX, their testnet was just upgraded yesterday to add ICA. So Stride just posted a forum post on their forum that outlines how STDYDX will work. I can share the link to that. Yeah, here it is. So this just went up here, fresh off the press. And we are connecting to their testnet as we speak. Probably should be up by the end of the day to run through the testing flows. And then I believe they will go live with interchain accounts on mainnet within 10 days. So STDYDX is really imminent. We're super excited about that one. And I believe Robo wrote a nice long thread about it, or a post about it this morning, describing how it works and pointing to the forum post. So STDYDX is very, very exciting, coming soon. STTIA still in the discussion phase, but discussions with the official team. And it seems like they will eventually add ICA. It's just a question of when. I just spoke for a long time with a lot of details. So I'll pause for a moment and let people ask questions, and then we can go back and forth.
Thanks so much, Riley. I feel like that was a really exciting update, especially to hear about the chain upgrade. And I know especially with the STN stuff, that's been a huge conversation in Discord. And so I'm sure that's like a great relief for people, and also just really exciting to hear about the upgrade, including the logic for STTYDX. I saw Moons asked a question of, I don't know if you actually answered this already. I don't think so. How does Stride convert the USDC to DYDX? Is it using
great
Skip's
question.
smart
So
contract?
DYDX pays yield in USDC, and in order to compound that, it needs to be converted back to DYDX so that it can be staked. That's how it works on all the other host zones. But on DYDX, the yield is not in DYDX. It's not in the native tokens. It needs to be converted. The way that it works under the hood, and there are a few details about this in the forum post, but not too much. The way that it works is Stride's account on DYDX grabs that USDC and it sends it to Stride's account on Osmosis. And then a few hours later, Stride's account on Osmosis swaps that USDC for DYDX. And once it has DYDX, it sends it back to DYDX, and Stride's account on DYDX will stake that DYDX. So the whole process takes, I think, like 6 or maybe 12 hours, depending on how frequently Stride chooses to run it. But in short, the USDC is swapped for DYDX on Osmosis. It's a pretty cool process. I'm excited to see it go live. All ICA, no smart contracts. Yeah, Stride. I don't think we use any smart contracts on other chains. So we decided to go with the ICA path. It's gonna be pretty cool to see that volume accrue.
I see a couple other questions that we can probably get to pretty quick. Tatard Martian says, we have ST Luna, why not ST Lunk with a potential burn mechanism?
Yeah, it's a good question. So the way that projects onboard to Stride is it is decentralized. So they could onboard if they wanted to open a pull request for that and move ahead. But frankly, it only makes sense to onboard some chains because many wouldn't be profitable for Stride, and the criteria that determine what makes sense to onboard is typically the size of the chain, size of the market cap, or more specifically, how much of it is staked. I think Monk is slightly on the smaller side now. And then the demand for using that token as collateral in DeFi. And finally, or two more things, the yield. And finally, whether the community pool or foundation or core team is willing to provide liquidity on the resulting pools for that stake asset. So taking all those together, Stealing could work, but it's not on the immediate roadmap. Maybe slightly down the line after TIA and DYDX and a few of the other chains with multi-billion-dollar market cap and demand for use of collateral.
All right, thanks for that. And I see a couple more questions. Maybe let's take these last three, what we see in the chat, just so we don't go too far over time. We got one question. When STTL launches, will the pull from natively staked balance feature be technically possible?
Oh yeah. So pull from native staked balance only works if you have the liquid staking module. Right now, the Cosmos Hub is the only one that. Yeah, thanks, Taranji. Looks like you answered this one. You need the liquid staking module for that, and Cosmos Hub is the only chain that has it. But I think in the next SDK release, the liquid staking module will be available to all chains, and at that point, other chains can add it. Maybe Celestia will add it. Maybe another chain will add it. But for now, you'll have to have your tokens unstaked. I can look at the chat and see a few more questions here. Have we talked to the Talos team and Black Panther team? We have not. We would love to speak with them. If you have a connect, shot 56. Yeah, we'd love to talk with them. I see your other question about STNG. Yeah, STNG has been a little bit slower, and there's no thought to sunset it. Definitely want to continue supporting it, but there aren't a ton of integration opportunities yet. Levana launched on Injective, but then they had their issue. And then there's another protocol called Neptune that's either live or going live soon. But love to support SDNG there. But so far, there just hasn't been much to do with SDNG. So that's still being worked on. Would love to talk to Talos and Black Panther. And then Moons suggested SDPika. Yeah, we're in contact with their team and they want to do it. Similar to ST Link, it's a little bit farther down the line in terms of size and demand for collateral usage, but I still think it would be a good use case, especially if the cross-chain exporting IBC to other ecosystems narrative takes off, and maybe there's a connection between Solana and ETH and Cosmos. Yeah, Picasso's really been picking up some steam, at least the market. Not sure what usage looks like.
Awesome. And thanks for getting to all those questions. I appreciate it, Riley. And yeah, I hope just to follow up, yeah, SHA256, feel free. Whenever you have that contact, we'd be stoked to be in touch. Taranji, always making us laugh over here. And yeah, thanks, Moons, for just the note about Picasso and the STPika. I think we're a little bit over time here, guys. So I'm going to say last call for questions or comments. Please feel free to do that right now if you have anything left on your mind. And yeah, just one more quick community plug. It would really, really be helpful to legitimizing our new Telegram group if you guys shared that link with other people you know who are in the Stride community or other people you know in different, if different project communities in the ecosystem. We really would love to grow that group in a more formal way, and the best sources from our community itself. But yeah, thank you guys for the love in the chat. We really appreciate it. Happy New Year to you guys too. I see Riley type in. Yes, with STL. That's funny. Lots of love. Thanks for tuning in. The great questions. Absolutely. Yeah, appreciate you guys so much. And of course, we will be here same time, same place next week. Don't forget about the Flix Talk Wednesday the 17th. Be there or be square. And yeah, I'll share more details as they come to us. But thank you guys and have a great rest of your day, night, afternoon, wherever you are.
Thanks for tuning in. And thanks for pointing out tricks and Robo. Talk to you all next week.
Bye, you guys.